Hi, I'm back. I had a few tough days there. And it was one of those kind of initially feeling worse in order to feel better down the line. Is this it? Yeah, Chariot. Some kind of emotional recalibration. Something that was out of balance, coming into balance. It's a card of Cancer, card of feelings, to be able to move forward in a positive way, in a victorious way. This is sort of like the victory lap. And again, that feeling of when you've been challenged or actually physically sick or something like that, this is the recovery stage. Tell us about the recovery stage. Queen of Wands. Well, that's a card of empowerment. Somebody coming into their own power. As a manifester. It's sort of a independence that allows you to move forward. Maybe to disentangle from some kind of attachment. You know, these two, if they're not in accord and pulling forward, you know, on the same emotional page, it can be a feeling of being torn apart emotionally, but it's not, because Queen of Wands knows what to do about it. Wands energy. This person can manifest really over time what they want. They know directionally that Wands business, where to go, directionally where to go when they move forward. They're empowered to do this. Wise One, which is Hierophant. That's a card of Taurus. And again, there's this balance, the keys to some kind of sacred knowledge that are grounding and allow us to move forward emotionally, guided by our deepest core self, the part of us that knows. You know, the part of us that's awakened. Bodhi was woken up. Okay, wow. Under Chariot, Sun. You know, emotionally balanced and moving toward happiness, toward something clearer and I mean, Sun can be a card of the individual, of divine masculine, in a sense of somebody who knows what to do. And knows isn't quite the right word because it's fire energy, it's inspirational. You could be dealing with a Leo, you could be a Leo. You're moving into some kind of position of authority, and I think you're willing to accept it now, accept your own power. And I think having to feel worse before you feel better is some kind of emotional you've gained some kind of emotional wisdom. It's not wisdom of the intellect, it's wisdom of the heart. Somebody knows what to do. Queen of Wands is more like they come to me. I attract in the things I want. And I want something emotionally balanced. And I want it now, is what I'm hearing. I don't want to have to chase after it. I don't want to have to wait a long time. I want it to be clear and transparent. 3 out of the 4 cards, Major Arcana, meaning those deep inner energies of our psyche, of our approach to the world. But it's somehow carving a new path. It's the archetypal story, but it's a new take on it. What does that mean, new take on it? 3 of Swords. Under Queen of Wands. New take on it, I'll say. You know, this is hurt and sadness and an inability to understand sword energy. What happened? But this is kind of transparency, somebody coming clean, some kind of stepping into power. Happiness versus pain. And we have here 4 of Cups. I think that's the vision of love, trying to hold on to the vision of this feeling that's being presented to us, you know, of the feeling. But for a time, feeling like Cups energy that we've missed the boat, or, you know, it was some opportunity that didn't unfold. And we don't know why. And maybe it's becoming less important to know in that cerebral sense why. Because there's a transparency inside of us, sun energy, divine masculine. That's who we are. And there's this idea I was thinking about of having to get things getting worse before they get better, almost like being inoculated, like if you have had smallpox or COVID or whooping cough or whatever it is and survived, you come out stronger. So when the next injury happens, these are almost like the delivery system for the thing that will make us stronger. As if the pain somehow, we build up, not an immunity, but build up a tolerance. And not in the sense of like giving people a pass if they've hurt us, but somehow keeping the vision of love alive. You know, balancing out the pain with this kind of hope. Ordinarily, this can be a card of missing the boat, but here I see it as holding the vision, feeling hopeful. She's not reaching out, he, she, they, not reaching out for it, but it's kind of floating to her, to them, on the hands of the cosmos, that the universe is somehow wanting this person to feel loved. And they felt hurt. And it lingered. It really kind of messed with their mind. But it also made them more intuitive. You know, they had to go to intuition because the mental state was really not serving them. On Sun, 6 of Swords, to a better state of mind. That sword energy, you know, moving on from the hurt towards something calmer and more transformative. Toward happiness, Sun card. And on the way to it, on the way to transformation. It's a healing process that never ends. It's something that we keep doing all our lives, and it's a really spiritual quest. To know that, you know, this Hierophant, this higher power, this Bodhi, this enlightened one is us. It's who we turn to in this kind of devotee posture. But who we're taking a knee to or being a devotee of is the idea of waking up. Waking up. And it's somehow filtering into our mental space. We're in some kind of liminal, we're on the way. We may not have arrived yet, and do we ever arrive? I don't know, but there's really positive forward movement here of a healing nature. It's balanced. You know, the Chariot can move forward because these two, you know, maybe you and another person are moving in the same direction now, or you're emotionally aligned with your own higher power. You're not like fighting. You're not fighting, somehow fighting your destiny. A great victory, you know, great mastery. That's not quite the right word, but it's like control, but it's somehow also letting loose the reins. It involves trust that we're moving forward in the right direction to a calmer place. Out of this memory of hurt. On 4 of Cups, 9 of Cups. Yeah, 9 of Cups. You know, from feeling put in a position where we have to maintain the feeling of love, kind of in the absence of the lover. But here, 9 of Cups, we become our best lover. You know, 9 speak to the personal. If you don't begin with self-love, if it's not inside you, how can you come into alignment with somebody else? You know, self-loathing, even if it's prompted by somebody else having hurt you, you know, and then you begin to think, what's the matter with me? How could they do that? All these questions. What happened? I don't get it. What's the source of this? You know, what did I say? What did I do to deserve this? Well, you're just moving on. You're not going to linger in that, trying to figure out the other person. You may be coming into alignment with somebody who's much more simpatico, you know, fellow feelings. You're both on the same page emotionally. Because I think you're coming out of a time when that just wasn't the case. Something may have happened in Cancer season that will begin to resolve. This is a card of Taurus. In Taurus time, you know, almost a year later, to regain your, remember that thing about it has to hurt before it gets better? Yeah, on Chariot, justice. I mean, another card of balance, fairness, clarity. both emotionally and mentally. You know, emotionally and mentally. As we heal the heart, the mind, or as we heal the heart, we heal our connection to higher power, and it's through the recognition that it's in us. It's not outsourced. And I'm getting that tinge of contractual here. Something's being made fair. There's something about the sort of truth that justice, energy, only half visible. You know, they're the scales. The equal exchange, or the equal clarity. But again, it's kind of moving into it. Might not be there yet. It's this progression. It's like Taurus to Cancer, Cancer to Leo, Leo to Libra. It's like it's that business I said of a consecutive experiences that prepare us for the good stuff to come, so we can see it, so we can recognize it when it's here. We're on our way to that, both in 3D, Six of Swords, and in the 5D, in the deepest level of the psyche, on the move. Yeah, King of Wands right next to Queen of Wands. I said something about being in accord with somebody else, in a balanced and fair relationship. This to me is a card of relationship, of this to that, of the equal balance, of the recalibration so that something is fair and clear and transparent. It's moving toward warmth and happiness. And let me tell you, King of Wands, Queen of Wands could be the internal balance between intuition and action. But I think it's two people. The two devotees, the two keys, the two sides of the chariot, the two sides of the scales. This can be a card of marriage or higher commitment or some kind of relationship that's to do with being awake and on the same page, and that doesn't compromise your self-love. There's nothing about this as humiliating. I think this had a tinge of humiliation. It messed with somebody's mind. I'm not sure. No, it's not. Is it this one? On the Three of Swords, we have, oh, I love that Wheel of Fortune. Major Arcana card of moving forward, of becoming aligned, of divine timing, of the memory of the hurt fading because it's still there, lingering perhaps as a memory, but it actually somehow managed to advance us, not hold us back, advance us. And by showing us what wasn't true. Now we can recognize what is and move toward that. Card of Libra, sword energy. to do with understanding or communication, or just being able to recognize the good thing when you see it. We've got a good thing going. And these guys would, King and Queen of Swords. And it may be a higher level of commitment that's coming. And I don't think it's the same person who delivered the, and it wasn't like they did it. Something in the combination. Like you weren't good for each other. And maybe it could be, now it's divine timing, there's a chance for healing this. For healing this hurt. Might have had to do with third party. A job or a person or some kind of influence that separated. And it was painful. But it forced us into self-love, which allowed for this higher commitment, the waking up, being able to navigate toward something, a peace of mind. On Queen of Wands, Nine of Swords. That's a card of anxiety. And I see it as somehow playing out potential fears, like doing the shadow work almost by, see, there's this, the shadow games or the shadow work. Sword energy of fear, anxiety, caused by a legit injury. But again, I'm getting this like having to, being inoculated by it somehow. It's a prompt to move forward. And somehow, by facing our fear head on, that somehow it, facing the fear empowered. I need one more on that Nine of Swords because I don't quite get it. Is it this one? Oh yeah, it was sadness. It was disappointment, sadness. Somehow Queen of Wands, all these, all the fears, all the unanswered questions, all the misunderstandings, all the false communications or false feelings. This is almost like I'm getting like somebody was crying alligator tears. Feeling sorry for themselves. And it's not you. I think it's who you were dealing with, yes. It's a kind of mean message. It's almost like, boo-hoo, Feel sorry for me. Feel it, Five of Cups. I think it's like somebody making excuses. And they may be legit excuses. Like I was scared, I was sad, and I kind of put on a show of sadness. We're moving on, Five of Cups to Five in Major Arcana, that being woken up, being enlightened. Somebody was like operating under a false flag. Something like, I didn't hurt you, you hurt me. And I think Queen of Wands may have believed it for a long time. Nine of Swords. It messed with her mind. We had that again here. Yeah, like messed with her mind. He, she, they. It doesn't really matter. Gender's not a thing. And we have both King and Queen of Wands here. So it really, It doesn't really matter. And it might not have been like a lover that messed with your mind or that wanted you to feel sorry for them. It could be like your mom or your friend. It was in an effort to disempower you and maybe even make you afraid. It didn't work. You're moving on. You've regained your emotional equilibrium. You really have. You've moved into warmth and transparency, into balance and healing. You're on your way towards some sort of relationship that's much more fair and reciprocal and, it's like a divine commitment. You're both on board. Is that it? That's it. Yeah, I'm glad to be back. I feel much better. I was able to take a bath, and when you're sick and you just get sweaty and weird, and this is about healing that with the help of that ineffable thing that really resists being named, but you know in your heart what it is. When you see it, it becomes clear. When you see it, it becomes transparent. No more confusion. 9 of Swords, 3 of Swords. Somebody I think was gaslighting you a bit. Again, I'm getting this sort of boo-hoo. It's not very kind. I think you were very kind to this person, and you were perhaps caught up in some kind of loop with them, trying to comfort them or make them feel better or reassure them. And now it's all about becoming empowered yourself. I mean, you can't, by going back and kind of coddling this, isn't going to advance anybody. This person needs to work it out for themselves, 9 of Swords. Because their thinking was skewed and their heart was skewed. And I think you're trusting their own, your own, their own, the own, all of our awakened selves to begin to set the record straight. We have on the board Taurus in Wise One, Hierophant. Cancer in the Chariot. Libra in Justice. Leo in Sun card. Wheel in Wheel. Wheel within Wheel. And that's it. Good to be back. I love you guys. I hope this finds you well. It finds me better. We're on the way. And do we ever really arrive in the land of everything's better, happily ever after? No, perhaps not. But we recalibrate to head in that direction. Justice card, 6 of Swords. And the truth is on our side, and the truth will set us free. It'll set us free. Yeah, I like that. I love you guys. Rue, by the way, when I was sick, lay in the bed with me and moaned. She was, oh, because I was sort of moaning, and she was there with me. And there's something about this new relationship where you'll be able to be with somebody emotionally, but not be depleted by their emotional manipulation of you. It goes from 5 of Cups, that manipulation, to 9 of Cups. Something that makes you happy. 9 of Cups, Sun card. Dig it, and it'll happen in phases. It doesn't happen all at once. It almost never does. Healing is a process, not this sort of spontaneous, poof, you're healed. It happens that way once in a while, but This is more like in stages. You'll begin to realize, A, how you were being gaslit, because I really think you were. Made to feel sorry for somebody. And now you're waking up, and so is this new person. I think they've been through a similar thing. You'll be able to recognize it in each other, you know, because you're both on the same page emotionally, healing from some kind of emotional hurt, moving on to better things. I'll see you next time.